Hello, welcome to day 3 of Vlogmas. Today we're going to talk about Christmas bucket lists. I thought it would be really fun if I tell you about 15 things that you can add to your Christmas bucket list to make your Christmas even more special. I was actually introduced and started doing bucket lists last year, so I'm fairly new to it, but I feel like they are such an incredible way and a simple way as well to make sure that you're making the most of the season. Christmas is extremely stressful, whether you're thinking about, work stuff, or you're thinking about the family things that are gonna come up, or even the upcoming break, or actually making sure that you make the most of the season. It can come with a lot of anxiety. And as somebody who suffered from anxiety, bucket lists have really helped me to just focus and be a little bit more joyful and present in the moment. Because I know that I have already picked the kind of things that I would like to do to make that season a very special one. So without further ado, I'm gonna tell you the 15 ideas that I have that you can add to make your Christmas even better. Now, I love an experience, and for me there is nothing that screams Christmas more than going ice skating. I am not a big ice skating or sportsy person, but honestly it's just so much fun. So do it with your friends or with your significant other or with your family, but it's an incredible experience to have. You can probably pick a place where there's going to be other things as well around it, so you can make it a day out. But I think in general that's such a fun thing to do, and I would definitely add it to your bucket list if you've never done it before. The second thing, which is something that I am going to do and my friends are going to just have to deal with it, is to run a gingerbread house building competition. I have failed at building gingerbread houses so many times, but I feel like it's such a fun thing to do. You can get little gingerbread houses that you can then assemble at IKEA, at Tiger, probably in most supermarkets. They're pretty inexpensive, and you can obviously just either ask maybe people to bring their own decor and or bring some things to share, like sprinkles and gummies and whatever else you want to put in your gingerbread. But I think it's gonna be such a nice thing to enjoy an afternoon or an evening with your friends and family. The third thing is also kind of a crafty thing, but it's decorating cookies or decorating your own mugs. It depends on the level of craftiness, and if you're more of a foodie or more of a kind of I want to have a memento to keep with me forever. But I think that is such a fun thing to do. It's in the same line of the gingerbread thing, but it's actually something that you can do yourself at home with a cup of tea or a glass of mulled wine, and you can do it with your partner. I feel like it's a more relaxing version basically of the gingerbread competition. The fourth thing is something that you will never catch me doing, but I think some people might enjoy it. In fact, I think my partner would actually enjoy it, which is going carol singing. And again, it depends where you live, because there might be not that kind of thing where you live, but if you can join a group of people that are gonna go carol singing, or if you can do some yourself at home, I think is a really wonderful way to celebrate and get into the kind of spirit of the holidays. The fifth is something that for me it's an essential. So last year I took a day off from work and I went for a Christmassy day in London. It was with my partner. We had the whole day off and we went to look at some of the museums, and then went for a light lunch and ice skated and looked at the Christmas lights, and it was absolutely incredible. I think if you can do this in the middle of the week is even more special, particularly because you don't want to wait until you have a break from work to be able to enjoy Christmas. I think having a Christmas dedicated day that isn't Christmas Day to get into the spirit is going to be a game changer for you. And obviously I went to London because London was the biggest city that was nearest to me, but you can go to a smaller place or somewhere else, wherever you feel there is enough Christmassy experiences to have. The sixth thing is to have a Christmas movie night. Now, again, this is something that you can do on your own if you've got some really good movies that you really want to watch, or you can do it with some family and friends. And I feel like it could also turn into a bit of a marathon. You could have some Christmas food with it, but it's such a lovely and actually inexpensive way to be able to get into the spirit of the season. The seventh thing, which is something I didn't used to do and maybe some of you already do, is to actually make the decoration process around your house or your room an event. Get all the decorations out, make sure that you've got music on, get yourself a mince pie or some cookies or whatever is feels like Christmas to you and make it into a bit of a moment so that you can actually enjoy decorating and making your immediate environment more Christmassy. And along the same lines of that, I would actually say that another thing that I've been loving having as a bit of a Christmas bucket list is to take time to wrap the presents, and again to make that a moment. So I really love to just like sit down with a cup of tea and some treats in front of the Christmas tree with like a fire on, or you know, the Netflix fire on, and just wrap presents for my loved ones and for the people that I'm gonna give them to. And it's such a like lovely moment to particularly like being able to put a bit of care into what otherwise can be quite a hectic thing to do, because you know, Christmas shopping is quite stressful. Idea number 1 is to bake some Christmas treats. This is gonna completely depend on the kind of Christmas treats that you have where you live or where you're from. For me, it would probably be mince pies, obviously because we are in the UK, but it could also be some Christmas cookies from Italy and the specific regions where I'm from. And it's all about making it what you feel like it's a Christmas tree, and just like spending some time to decorate. This year what we're doing is actually making some cupcakes, and I've got some really cute little things to decorate the cupcakes with, so it's going to be all about that process of decorating the cupcakes and baking them. Okay, the 10th item, if you can do it, you have to do it because I actually can't. But it's building a snowman. I would give anything to be in a place where at Christmas you have a lot of snow, because it sounds just like so much better. It's obviously not that common in the UK, nor is in Italy, to have snow before basically Christmas, so I wouldn't be able to do this. But if you are in a place where that is a thing, or if you're going to a place where that is a thing, maybe you're going skiing or something, then I would say 100% build a snowman and just enjoy the snow in general. Number 11 is actually one of my favorites, and it's to have a cozy Christmassy night in. This could look like a hot bath and a glass of wine and a book, and that to me just sounds like heaven. And the reason why I'm putting this in the bucket list, and I think you should too, is because it's important to make sure you don't get to Christmas Day feeling completely stressed and out of breath. Because remember that, like, you know, literally 6 days after you start the new year and you want to start recharge and refresh. So putting in a day of self-care but with a Christmas twist, for me, is like the perfect thing to make sure that you get to celebrate Christmas but also not burning yourself out. The 12th item is to actually go to Christmas markets. I love Christmas markets. My partner lived in Munich, Germany for a few years, and honestly, I don't think I'll ever look at Christmas markets the same, because Christmas markets in Munich are just perfection. But whatever you have around you, just like make sure you pop in and have a little look, check if you can maybe get something that is like made there, supporting some local businesses, maybe having some traditional food if there's any around. But yeah, Christmas markets are a wonderful way to kind of get into the Christmas season, and I think they're a great activity to do either with some friends or with your family. The 13th item on the list is actually something that I cannot claim credit for, but I absolutely love, and I think it could kind of translate with any tradition that you have. But for me, is actually going to be to go and pick a bulbul. So me and my partner are doing this thing where every year we try and pick a bulbul each that is a little bit different from the ones that we usually have. Now, just ignore the tree. We don't really have all our decorations at the moment, as you might know if you've been following me for Vlogmas. But this year as well, we're gonna go out and like pick a bulbul that is a little bit different and a little bit special to this specific season of our life. So that, I think, is like a lovely activity, and it could just like mean anything to you. You might not have like decorations or different decorations for your Christmas tree, so it might be something else, but just taking a moment to honor whatever is your little tradition or to build a new one can be a really special thing to do to get into the season. Number 14 is something that is a little bit more on the pricey side, but if you can afford it, I think is super worth it, which is to go to a show or a performance that is very, very Christmassy. What comes to mind for me is the Nutcracker, which is obviously so Christmassy and so wonderful, but anything that you can do to like go and attend something that will remind you of the magic of Christmas, for me it's like super worth it and super fun to do. And last but not least, the 15 idea for your Christmas bucket list is to actually go out for a Christmas meal before it's Christmas. The thread throughout this video has been very much to kind of like remember to focus on enjoying the Christmas things before it's Christmas Day, because when you think about it, Christmas is only for one day and you want to make sure that you kind of like expand and make the season go as long as possible, because the months that come after can be quite tough depending on where you live. So I honestly think that food is one of the best things in the world, and so for me, being able to enjoy a Christmas meal multiple times throughout the season is a very important thing. So whether you do that with friends, whether you do that with your partner or with your family, I would definitely suggest to plan to go and have a Christmas meal before it's Christmas Day, because you will not regret it. And that is it for today's video. I hope that these are some interesting ideas that you can add to your Christmas list. I honestly feel like for me, having bucket list has changed the game in terms of not only staying present, but also enjoy everything that's happening around me and really kind of like doing a deep dive into the season that I am navigating. Christmas can be incredibly stressful, but it's also full of opportunities for joy, and having a little bit of a guideline of the things that you feel like are your favorite things in the world to do can be a wonderful way to approach the season with the right spirit. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've got any suggestions or any other ideas that you're gonna put on your Christmas bucket list. Sharing is caring. Honestly, don't keep all the good ones to yourself, and I'll see you next time.